Hello. We are 2 days, I think, 3 days before the Overwatch League playoffs as of the time of recording, so hopefully I can push this out real fast. But today, I introduce to you again our esteemed guests, Mr. rmug and Mr. Serious Destroyer. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Because today we're going to discuss the 2021 Overwatch League season playoffs and our predictions. Now, we're not going to waste any time. We're just going to get straight into it. But before we do that, slight apology. None of this has been very thought out on my end, so the production is going to be a little on the offside. But we're not here for the production. We're here for the discussion. So
it's fine.
Let's get straight into it. For rmug and Dio, I will be posting. I'll be doing it alphabetical order, and I need you to look in the brackets as we go through each one. So just real quick, basically with my predictions, I was like, the most notable thing, Shock don't win a single match.
Interesting.
I don't trust. I just don't trust. I don't have faith. I feel like Gladiators and Shock could be really close though, but I feel like I don't have faith. I don't know why. It's just a gut feeling. I'm also having Fusion take the Gladiators because I think Fusion could do some. I think they could hit some momentum going into the grand finals. Yeah, the playoffs. I mean, I think Washington are going to shit the bed, and I think Atlanta can put up a fight, just not against Chengdu. But then they'll eventually go down to Fusion. But as you can see, I've got all the APAC teams going through in the winners round. I got Fuel taking the Chengdu Hunters, and then because at this point I'm not really doing any proper it's really just guesswork because I don't trust the proposed winning team to actually win some of these games. So I guess that took a lot of these off by chance, but you can see here that in the end Shanghai goes to the grand finals. Fuel battled out in the losers bracket and beat the Fusion, and I think Fusion is gonna have a run through the lower bracket. I feel like Fusion have hit their momentum at the right time, and I feel like, and I just want Fusion to win and win some games. I want them to go far.
So you want them to become second place again?
I mean, if that's what it takes. Also, even though I am a Chengdu fan, I'm probably gonna regret this, just because I should stand Chengdu all the time. But I just decided, no, I think the way fate goes, not the Overwatch League player fate. I think Hunters are just gonna drop out. Yeah. Any thoughts?
Well,
look. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, that's completely reasonable. Except that except that I see that you've given up on the Hunters here. As a semi Chengdu Hunters fan myself, I'm saying that I'm not proud of you here.
I'm not proud of me either.
It's fine. We'll see how it goes. I wish the boys in the yellow to do their best.
Yep. I'm always going to support them. If they do go on a run, fuck yeah, I'll support them. It's just that I don't know. I mainly just RNG'd it. I'll be honest.
Did we all?
Yep. Do you have anything to add to Charles?
Yeah. I just think you're too low on Chengdu.
Yeah.
Like, come on. I think surely they win at least another game or so. At the very least, I would say. I actually remember now. My judgment for the Gladiators Hunters game was that anyone could have took it. Either of them could have taken it.
Yes, sir.
It just came down to the final fight.
That's true, yeah.
But yeah, that was my reasoning. Probably not very sound, but yeah. Anything you guys wanted to add?
No, nothing else. That's a respectable, very respectable bracket right there. Seems good.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll move to my finals prediction then. I think Shanghai are going to beat Dallas 4-2.
Ah, okay.
Same.
Same?
I think that's what I did as well.
The same. It's just the way that we got there was slightly different. But
we are going to talk about your bracket later, but for now, I think we don't need to talk about this because we should just move on.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Charles's upper bracket then.
First of all,
yes.
Okay, Shanghai's gonna blow out a shock. It's no competition. Shanghai's been dominating this year. I don't see that changing anytime soon with the shock unless they come back in season 2 form. But I don't see it happening. Fusion and Gladiators, I don't really know much about kind of what the Gladiators do, but I feel like Fusions, they have been playing more recently, but I think Gladiators going to step it up for the playoffs. Therefore, 3-1. Few and Justice, just no way. There's not much else to say. Few's going to take it 3-1. I'm just giving it 3-1 just to be nice, but I might hit it to 3-zip. Raid and Hunters, this was an interesting one. But I feel like if Ball's meta, Chengdu would definitely take it. I have a feeling that Ball's going to be meta. I don't even know. Okay, next one, round 2. Oh, Few and Hunters. That's going to be a tough one, actually. It's a really close one. It could have went either way, I think. But, just a gut feeling. I just feel like Few will take it.
Yeah.
Dragons and Gladiators. Man, that's no competition. I think Dragons takes it. They're dominating. Gladiators been alright, but not on the same tier, I would say. Yeah, and there we go. And you've got a Fuel versus Dragons final. And I feel that could go either way as well. Just depends on, I suppose, how the Fuel are playing that day.
I see, yeah. All right.
That's very cool.
Yeah. Any comments you want to make, Aiden?
It's fine. That's respectable. I can see the reasoning here, and I see what it is.
Cool. All right. We'll talk about rmug's losers bracket then.
All right.
And oh boy, I see a hot take, sir.
We got some really hot takes there. So, Shock are going to shit the bed, all right? They're going to absolutely get demolished, okay? But I feel like that's the wake-up call for the Shock to kind of come back and realize, hey, we're kind of shit. Let's not be shit. And then suddenly, they pop the hell off. They go on this epic redemption journey.
I see.
But unfortunately for the Shock, it's too little too late because the Fuel's going to take him. Fuel's going to take him 3-1.
Now, explain to me Justice and Rain.
Yes.
Justice and Rain. Okay, look. I have faith, okay? I believe in decay supremacy. It's just going to the entire time.
Supremacy.
And they win. But honestly, I don't even know why I put that there. It was like an afterthought. Because I didn't consider them going anywhere past the second round anyway. I just kind of just put a few random numbers in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But, honestly, I don't think it's implausible that just take it. Is it unlikely? Yeah, honestly, probably yes. But they're not bad. Look, they have been bad this season, but they haven't been terrible, I think they can still take it. They can take it, sure.
I guess that's fair, except that I don't trust the Justice to do anything in this playoffs.
Mate, you have to believe.
Are you a Washington's fan now? Huh?
Oh no, I just don't want to see them so sad
that's
all the
fair.
time.
I think he just wants to root for the underdog,
Yeah.
Imagine if Washington Justice have another lower bracket run, just like the 2020 season.
Are you calling it here?
I'm not calling it. I don't want to call anything. I don't trust the Justice, but
I'm calling it. Watch it is age well.
Okay, very interesting.
I agree with rmug. Yeah, I like his take. Very spicy indeed.
Quite spicy. Although, I noticed Hunters have played the same number of wins and losses as they did in my bracket as well. Charles, man.
Oh, interesting.
Charles.
What can I say? Great minds think alike.
Ah, yes.
Or perhaps the opposite. Terrible minds think alike as well.
True. But yeah, I guess that's your lower bracket. We'll now discuss your finals.
So,
wait.
Even though
it's first to 4.
Even though we have, sorry, I meant to put 4-2. It's kind of,
okay.
No, but
right.
So even though we've taken very different paths to get there, we do have ultimately, at the end of the day, it is going to be a Shanghai and Dallas Fuel rematch. And that's going to be very interesting, I think. But I think Shanghai being the absolute beasts that they are, whether you like it or not, they're going to do a full-on stomping. Dallas is going to put up a good fight, I think.
Yes,
but
sir?
I don't think it's enough. Unfortunately, the Dragons are just too strong this year. They pop it off, mate. They pop it off.
Absolutely.
That's all I have to say, really.
Okay. I mean, it's what I had, so I guess I agree with you. Anything to add, Aiden? Oh, actually, you know what? We're just going to move straight on to Aiden's.
Yeah, okay.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Because I'm the one with his results. I know this.
I can't see bullshit, and the image.
Yeah. So
enhance.
Once we enhance. Well, Shock have been taking a few more maps in this game. I would say for the most part, our first 4 rounds have been basically the same, except for the fact that I made the hot take of Fusion versus Glads. But you guys have basically the same thing.
Yeah. So even more greater mind single light, except for the okay. Are you talking about the losers bracket?
I guess, because the rest is pretty straightforward. Okay, actually, I want to touch on something though. You don't think the Gladiators or Fuel will put up a fight against the Dragons?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I mean, to me, it's fairly unlikely, but yeah. Go on. What
you saying? The Dragons are insane.
Okay, fair enough. Charles?
That's all good.
All good. Take a look at the lowest bracket then. Losers bracket, I mean. Seems pretty standard to me, except you believe you're a Chengdu Hunters believer.
Yes, I believe in my boys in the yellow here.
Yes, sir. That's what we like to see. It's maybe not what I saw, but it's what we love to see. Chengdu Hunters stands. But yeah, there's nothing too out of the ordinary here. And it's all pretty fine and dandy.
Oh, Dallas takes it.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We'll move on. Yeah. I messed up the formatting. Well, I'll just say by word that the Fuel to take the Hunters in the elimination final. I didn't show that on the production, so that's my bad. But Dallas Fuel takes Shanghai Dragons 4-3.
Yes.
Explain yourself.
Okay, it's just a matter of hope at this point. I honestly, statistically, I think the Shanghai Dragons will win, but I want to do a spicy take here, you see. I want the boys in the blue to win.
Fair.
Everyone's going to go for Shanghai, sure, why not? Why not go for the other one?
Oh. Another one indeed.
Indeed.
Yes, sir. Alright. So, those were our playoffs predictions. And I guess, just to wrap it up, we should talk in general just a little bit about what we expect from each team. And I say we go from what we expect to be the worst to the highest performing teams. So we'll start off with Washington Justice. Well, I think it's safe to say none of us are really expecting them to win.
I didn't know how they even got into the bragging for the first place.
Why are you even here?
Do you think another team deserved their spot from NA?
That's a hot take.
London Spitfire.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's the shiniest of all turds, so...
Yes.
Honestly, I'm just a little disappointed Houston was not able to make it in.
Oh, true, Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the one team.
Seriously, I think Houston had a good chance, yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see Houston play, but I mean, we get to see Decay, we get to see Fury. I mean, Washington, still an Overwatch League caliber team. It's just this season, yeah. In any case,
not been great.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need stuff together, you see.
I saw Crimso's tweets about seeing all the people go to Hawaii, and he's pretty sad that they're missing out.
Oh, it is how it is, you know.
It is how it is. Big love to the Houston Outlaws boys. They did great throughout this entire season, and I think definitely a honorable mention. But just for the playoffs now. Yeah, Washington Justice. I don't think they're going to go far.
True.
All right. And I guess the next team we want to talk about is a toss-up between Gladiators and Fusion. Am I missing a team? I guess.
Maybe Shock.
I mean, I guess it's in no particular order. We know Justice is definitely at the bottom here, so I guess we'll just talk about the NA teams and then the APAC teams, because I don't know. Gladiators then.
Gladiators. What can I say? You've got some really great players on the roster.
Yes, I
think they have the potential to be like a dark horse contender. I think it's not out of the question completely.
I feel like they're not even a dark horse. They just won the Countdown Cup, and like
they are reasonable.
They're carrying momentum.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
I would say Fusion is more of a dark horse than Gladiators, though, in my opinion. But yeah, we'll talk about that.
Too dark.
I
think it's a bit too dark.
Fusion supremacy.
But no, Gladiators, I think they have a chance. Like, we see some of the matches against Fusion. If they beat Fusion, they go against Shanghai. Like, I think they can put up a fight against Shanghai. I still think Shanghai's gonna come out on top at the end of that ordeal. But yeah, I feel like there's still a chance for them. Yeah, I guess since we're on the topic, why not talk about the Fusion? Like, I personally feel like Fusion are just gonna have some sort of a comeback in the playoffs. I don't know why I feel this. I feel like they're carrying some momentum, and I feel like it's gonna carry through.
See, I like your thinking here. I also wish to see a Fusion to do a bit of a comeback here.
Yeah.
That'll be very entertaining, actually.
It would be a very entertaining match, actually. One of the ones I'm actually looking forward to, because I feel like that's one of the ones that's more up in the air. Could go to either team, in my opinion. And as you saw from our brackets, it's a split decision. But yeah, we'll talk a little bit now on Shock. I mean, I feel like I'm talking about Shock before Atlanta, because I feel like Atlanta are gonna have a better performance than Shock, which could be a hot take.
No, Shock.
I mean, it's a very hot take indeed.
It is a very hot take. I just don't trust in them at this point. I feel like something bad's gonna happen. It's very unlikely now that I look back on it. Like, Shock still have like overall the best like win percentage. They just don't have the league points, yeah?
I see.
Yeah, so...
Oh, that's respectable.
In any case, I feel like it's very up in the air.
Oh, definitely.
I see.
I mean, they are still the back-to-backs. I would not rule them out whatsoever. Sure, they've had quite an underwhelming regular season performance, but it's the Shock, mate, you know? It's the Shock, you know, the kind of the legends of the game, you know?
So,
I think it's still up in the air. I think
So,
you can definitely still make a case. You can still make a case for them winning it all. Actually, if everything goes to plan, if they pop, if all of them pop the hell off, I think.
Yeah,
it's not impossible. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's it.
Armaki, you think that the script writers will make them back-to-back champions?
I think that would get the most kind of
controversy,
the most views. Yeah, kind of. The scriptwriters must be aware of the hype that it'll bring. So
yeah, especially the amount of shock fans out there.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. I just don't trust them. I think I'll leave it at that for me.
Okay, that's reasonable. I respect your decision. I mean, I agree with it, but I respect it.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right.
Facts.
I guess we already talked about it a little bit. How about the Atlanta Reign? And you have to consider Pelican probably playing on ping. Definitely playing on ping, actually. Because
unfortunately,
there is an option though for the Atlanta Reign, because the Atlanta Reign discussed with Overwatch League, the league, and for games where they go off against NA teams, they're allowed to route the this to like West Coast servers, so they'll have about 80 ping instead of the higher like 250 ping for Pelican.
80 ping is amazing.
Yeah.
That's totally playable. Actually.
That's fine.
That's what I play a lot of time.
So that's something to consider, but when they're going off against the APAC teams, that's still not ideal.
No.
And I think another thing you have to consider is Edison's role. Does Edison take on Pelican's roles? Do they decide against it, or do they keep going with Pelican on the ping?
Is Edison good enough? Is Edison better than Pelican on ping? Like, do you reckon?
Probably not. Like, at most, the Tracer.
I don't know, yeah.
But Pelican even showed a really good Tracer. So it's a very tough decision to make. Yeah, not entirely sure. But in any case, I still think Atlanta, with the competition that is in the playoffs, can only show, I guess, relatively mediocre results.
Yeah, it's just that they're good, but
they're super good. I feel like now that I think about it more, they should be really competitive. If they're not competitive, then something's gone wrong.
Okay, I see.
But yeah, that's the Reign. I guess final NA team we'll talk about, Dallas Fuel.
Dallas Fuel.
Big thing about this team coming to playoffs is Pine.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Pine's gonna have a big role?
No. Not at all.
I don't know. I haven't seen many matches.
It's a bit too late in the season for him to actually get anywhere, unfortunately. All these visa issues kind of holding him back, and you really can't be taking these risks in the playoffs, given that it's pretty much the biggest event of the entire season. You can't just kind of bring someone new in there. I'm sure they've been scribbling and all of that, but it's not like a real game situation, is what I mean.
Yeah.
There's enough chemistry between the teammates and Pine.
Yeah.
You have to consider also how much scrim time, how much practice time they've had with Pine, and it's when you can take everything into consideration. I personally feel like they had enough time to sort things out, and Rush is a good enough coach to be able to handle that. Because he spent a year building this culture around the rest of the Dallas field, that for the playoffs he can spend a little bit more time on Pine, that the rest of the team can figure themselves out a little. At least in my own opinion. But it's very up in the air.
Okay, yeah, I agree with Sandeep here. I think definitely. I believe. It would be very entertaining to see it as well work there.
Yeah. And I guess it also brings into the conversation about like previous matchups, like this year the big rivalry against Shanghai Dragons. But I guess we can talk a little bit about on that after this segment. So we'll start to wrap this up pretty quick now. Chengdu Hunters then. I feel
Chengdu.
I've underrated them. I'm just straight up saying I've underrated them.
I believe.
But I still believe though. I want the boys to do good.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Cool. All right.
They definitely have a lot of potential here, and I want them to do well.
I feel like also it's a good conversation to bring up is the whole like their ball comps, their chaos that comes with Chengdu Hunters. I feel like if I feel like for Chengdu Hunters it becomes a matter of the maps. If they get good maps and if they can force their favored comps, I feel like they can do good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That's fine.
And certainly, if you're against NA teams, they won't be used perhaps to the Chengdu style. That'll give them a kind of a distinct advantage, I would say. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that's cool. All right. And finally, the big dogs. Probably, in most people's opinions, the better version of Chengdu when it comes to like ball, I guess. Shanghai Dragons.
Shanghai.
Shanghai, what to say about Shanghai?
Is there any argument to make that a team like Dallas or Shanghai could have fallen off? I don't think so.
They just have too much. They just have too much flexibility.
Unlikely.
Yeah, unlikely.
Do so well on every role.
I feel like in some universe, there's just a possibility that a Shanghai or a Dallas could just shit the bed for no reason.
It's
That would be the most entertaining timeline, but
Okay.
All right, and finally, we'll talk about some of these matchups real quick. And I guess we already talked about it a little bit. Shanghai versus Dallas. What they've fought it out two stages in a row, and it's this big rivalry between the kings.
Yeah.
Do we feel like
Shanghai going to remain the game? No.
Yeah. Like, we know Dallas sort of had peaked at the start of the season, and then Shanghai started to peak further on. And then we saw some of the other teams take over. Another interesting matchup for me is also Dallas versus Chengdu. Like, if that ever happens, that is also going to be really interesting if Dallas can keep that dominance over them. Well, not dominance, that the wins over them, or can Chengdu take the revenge against them.
Yes, queen.
Yes.
Defo.
Definitely.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's also a little bit of APAC rivalry between Chengdu and Shanghai, and that's a really interesting one to look out for as well. I still feel like Shanghai's
going to be a very entertaining match.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I feel like these playoffs are going to be so great.
Yeah, no. Especially
a live desk in Hawaii as well. Like, compared to last year, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And I suppose I just want to touch on Atlanta vs Gladiators as a final thing, because Atlanta vs Gladiators, they're for the most of the season, they're basically on the same level. Atlanta went to Hawaii a few more times than the Gladiators. Gladiators got the win in the Canada Cup ultimately. I feel like Gladiators are carrying some high momentum right now. Even though I think they're going to lose to Fusion, but I feel like that they're going to win for similar reasons. But yeah, it's a very interesting matchup that has gone throughout Season 4 as well, and I think can make for some very entertaining games in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. We'll see that.
We'll see, definitely. We'll definitely be watching, if time forgives with us, the playoffs.
Yes.
We live very busy lives, so I don't know. Maybe like a few weeks or few months after the playoffs, we'll actually have like time to record like a off-season like recap of the season, what we felt on that, or like what our feelings are for the next season, if that ever happens. Probably it is gonna happen. What am I saying?
Yeah, we'll be on the optimistic side here. We'll see.
Yeah. And I just remembered, do you want to talk a little about Overwatch 2?
Oh, yes, that's what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah. Real quick then.
Okay, so I want to predict here, okay? They're gonna announce that Overwatch 2 will be released 2025.
Nice.
Realistically thinking though, I'm really excited for those news, except for especially for the Bastion and the Sombra reworks. As we all know that Sombra and Bastion, not the best to play against. And Bastion's been kind of like a niche pick, only working in one team comp. We'll have to see though what the devs decide to do here.
Bring back Bastion Shield.
Did they say they'll be trying to remove shields in Overwatch?
Yeah.
Like reduce amount of shields.
Yeah. Let Bastion fly.
Sure, he turns into an attack helicopter. Let's go.
But yes. Also, what do you feel about the Sombra reworks? I feel like that is if they're trying to reduce CC, I can get it. You always see the clips of like Super not being able to play play Reinhardt when he's just being hacked every 5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean it's
not a fun experience.
I mean it's a negative for the pro play because there's a lot of the strategies with Sombra.
Yes, Sombra is a big portion of pro play, especially when you consider like a Lip or just any like Sombra Tracer team in general. And it's one of the most consistent comps that we see throughout the past 2 seasons.
But for the average Joes like us, I mean, Sombra's unfun to play against.
That's fair.
Yeah, we'll have to see there. I'm really excited to see what they do with Sombra.
Yeah. All right. And with that, I think we're good to end. So thank you all for watching. Watching us around. And as always, thank you for rmug and Serious Destroyer for always being great, terrific guests, joining the show as always. You are appreciated.
Hopefully, there won't be any bots that's flooding the comment section like our last video.
Get one of those bots promoting some like random porn website in the comments. It's like 0.25 and it's like Charles dabbing.
Oh god.
Yes. But we'll end the episode there. Thank you all for watching, and we'll maybe see you in a future video. Farewell. Bye bye.